We're live. We're using Joe's hotspot.
You're not the first.
Start over again. Fuck. So aggravating. Joe's hotspot.
You're not the first.
All right, ready?
The live video has ended. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not.
Just now?
Yep.
No, still live. Got 4 people watching.
Yeah. Mine said it. Live video has ended. I don't know.
You got to turn that down, though.
Just now?
Not mine.
No.
Oh, is that Mike's? Oh.
No, mine's not on.
Oh, you know why? I'm an idiot. I had that plugged in.
Idiot.
I don't know how to mute it. I gotta figure out how to mute it. How do you mute the video?
You think we'd have this figured out by now?
You'd think. All right, well, I just can't. So it's fine.
All right, so now we're live again.
Yes, we're good. We're live again. You had me at hotspot, Joseph said.
So we got Susan, Daniel, Joseph Schultz, Michael.
I actually skipped a whole bunch of shit, so we're gonna start over again.
For the third time.
Yeah, for the third time.
Third time's the charm.
Hopefully, thing doesn't die. Ready, guys? 5.
Go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast for our third attempt. I am your host, Right Worshipful Brother George Marjorie. With me tonight,
Worshipful Brother Joe.
Right Worshipful Brother Mike.
Right Worshipful Brother Mike Adams. I'm not going to go through your whole title again. We've already heard it 16 times over. But you are the district deputy for us, and you're up here. You were supposed to come last week, so Marty got a jump on you. He's already 1 point ahead. So, did you hear that whole conversation, though, what we're planning on doing?
That you were going to put us together.
Put you together, and you're going to do the Battle of the Deputies.
Battle of the District Deputies, and then our AGMs were the ones that were going to get zapped.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, I think you can signs and summons him. I just, hey.
I could.
All right. Quick things. I just did a Patreon episode. If you're interested in that, hop on. You can go to Patreon. You can sign up to become a Patreon member, and we have all kinds of episodes up there. I just did Morals and Dogma. A little bit of a thing on that. So, Joe.
Yes.
We're over 700 likes.
We are over 700.
Yes,
wow.
we are. We're at 712.
Does that mean we have to get our Puppet George tattoos? Is that what we agreed on?
So I'm going to start from 700 because prior to this, we had a 300 and some odd people magically just like this, just out of nowhere. Not magically, but we did our whole move campaign, and we had a lot of likes. So I'm going to start off at Mr. 700 for new likes. Jeremy Mathis, Mr. 700. Neil Ford, Kevin Tate, Tom Berland, Thomas J. Brotherton III, Roberto Medrano, Cody Tharp, sorry if I butcher your name, Heldion Tarty, Jeremy Rixey, Joe Davis. So those are our new likes. So let's toast them.
Let's toast them.
With, what do you got? What's the stuff you brought here now?
Master Distiller number 5.
Awesome.
All right.
Brethren, right hand to arms.
To arms.
Arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire. Good fire. Fire all. Together, brothers. Vivat. Vivat. Vivat.
Very nice.
Not bad for my first one.
Very well.
Have you done one at Table Logic before? Table Logic are totally different, though. Totally different. Not completely, but. All right. We actually, Joe, are you in the page or no? Because we had a new recommendation.
Give me a moment.
Here we go.
Got it.
And it's actually a female. I'll take a little bit more of that if you wouldn't mind charging the cannon. And it's by Paula H. Hensley. Recommends the Freemasons podcast. This is on Facebook. You are awesome. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Joe, mess a mess. I would love to hear you guys talk more about different Masonic families. Are they different from country to country? For example, how are the Masons in Brazil or Filipinas different from the Americans?
I'm sorry.
Did you say Filipinas?
He said Filipinas.
Okay.
Philippines.
No, she wrote Filipinas. Right? How else would you say that? Come on now. How much? Okay, I'm gonna spell it for everybody so everybody doesn't think I'm an idiot. Okay, Filipinas. How would you say that? Just say it to yourself.
Filipinas.
Thank you.
Filipinas.
You said Filipinas.
You said Filipinas.
I said
No, you didn't.
You said Filipinas.
Yeah.
You said Filipinas.
You know,
absolutely
prior to him coming up here, we talked about this. How we're gonna gang up on him. Like,
Rope-a-dope, man. It's rope-a-dope. Go with it.
You hung yourself on that.
I did. All right. But anyway, in all seriousness, I want to thank, as soon as I get into my phone because it locked me out, Paula H. Hensley for the recommendation, and we will certainly cover that at some point. So, actually, Brother Joe.
Yes, sir.
Lead us in the charge.
Right hand to arms.
Arms.
Ready. Aim.
Aim.
Fire, fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. Awesome. We got one more to do, and then we'll be done with our toasts. I got one more. If I missed anybody, call me out on it. Say, hey, you suck. Pay attention, and I most certainly will point it out. All right. So, looking for a soundboard here. I would like to propose a toast to our Right Worshipful District Deputy for coming on up here and playing with us hooligans tonight. So I'd like to toast you. So,
Thank you.
to Right Worshipful Mike Adams, right hand arms,
To arms.
ready,
Ready.
aim,
Aim.
fire, good fire, fire all. Together, brothers. Vivat, vivat, vivat. It's a pleasure to have you up here. I'm glad you decided to come play with us because we're going to have some fun tonight. This one,
Play with my hot spot.
we have two troublemakers up
His
here.
hot spot and your Filipinas.
Keep your Filipinas away from my hot spot. Let me tell you. My hot spot's spoken for.
Oh, God. Clay Jenkins said, put that on a t-shirt. Filipinas. I didn't think I said Filipinas.
You said Filipinas.
Maybe I just slurred it. Whatever.
It sounded like Filipinas.
All right. I got to lose the hat. I'm sweating. I got to fix my 3 strands.
It's too easy. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah, I took it from you. I didn't want you to have it. Oh, my God. Toasting Greg Schultz. Toasting likes Filipinuses and the DD. Where is this podcast heading? Straight to hell. I can tell you.
Straight to my hot spot.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Boy.
What?
All right. So we're going to start off with this. Right Worshipful Mike Adams. We started to get into it, and then our live food went crap up. So I want to hear, I'm going to ask you about what got you into Freemasonry, who got you into Freemasonry, your background on it. Basically, what did you know about it?
Well, when I first started, I didn't really know too much about it. I know I did a lot of charity work. I was very interested in that. So I did a little background check on the internet, and then talking with Al Rollinson, who's the treasurer over at Shepherd's Hill, the lodge that I'm at, my home lodge. And he got me involved, and I pretty much stopped looking at the internet after that. Went through my degrees. It was great. Had a great time meeting all new guys with like minds, wanting to do the same thing, and started my career going in through the chairs, starting at the steward's chair.
Who was your voucher? Who was it? Al Rollinson? He was the one.
It was Al Rollinson and Stephen Nevins.
Right. And I assume same type of thing, came out to your house, met the family, did the investigation, all that?
Stephen Nevins, Bert Hughes, and Dave Hughes. And they showed up right after I got after work. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and they show up in suits, and the Hughes brothers, they're 6 feet tall. It's like, man, what am I getting into now? So
if you see me laugh, it's not because of what you're saying. Sometimes it's what I'm reading. Greg Schultz.
Okay. You can laugh at me. That's fine.
No. Greg Schultz. And this is what I'm talking about. The Bash brothers or the Hanson brothers, whatever you call it. A Filipinus in the hot spot will lead to a brother or sister for Puppet George.
You saw my response, right?
I have not yet, and I'm scared to even look at it. All right. So in a rash, Jesus,
Yeah.
Joe. All right. So you get investigated, you get into the lodge, you're about to take your first degree, and they tell you to perform, or what's going through your mind? Your first degree.
The first degree, we go in there and have dinner and all that, and Chip was there. Chip Schofield, and we go up, and he's the one that's preparing us, and he just walks in, and he's just what? Put this on again. What?
Yeah.
But so I didn't know, and then I didn't know what to expect, and then so you got into your garb, and then they get you to the door, and then you're blindfolded. Now I don't know what's going on. And then you're walking, and they're laughing, and it's pretty much. I don't remember my EA degree.
Yeah.
Went home that night, and the girlfriend asked, how was it? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what I did. Yeah. I don't know what I just got involved in. But I got lucky, and then after that, 2 weeks after I took my EA degree, we did another one where I was able to watch it. Pretty much through all 3 of my degrees. Because when I was coming through, we had 8 brothers coming through at the time. So they did it. I thought the officers wore tuxedos to every meeting because that's all we did was degrees.
Yeah. That tends to happen from time to time. That you don't pull that mic just a hair closer to you. Just so beautiful. All right. So take your Master Mason degree, you go through all that. And again, we don't get into specifics of degrees and everything. You take your Master Mason degree, you're a Mason. Did they throw you in a chair, or did you have to wait?
No, I waited. The next year I filled in the steward's chairs. And then the following year I started off. I had already done the steward, so I started off as the junior deacon. Went through all the chairs from there.
Quick question. Are you reading the live thing? You want to read him? But Greg Schultz asked a question. Has not come through yet on that. Okay. Greg Schultz writes, how do you become a DD? Is an appointment from the Grand Master, or is it an elected position? You want to chime in on that?
It's actually appointed. You're actually appointed by the current district deputy. If you're voted in by past district deputies to become a district deputy, he in turn appoints his AGM, which still have to get approval through your district representative through Grand Lodge. And then once that goes through, you're in there till you either get voted in for district deputy the 2 years after, or if you don't, you just go on.
Just a couple things while we're sitting here, we're talking about, you did get the email about permanent members meeting, right?
Yeah.
All right. We have a permanent members meeting, and what we do is basically reiterating what you said. Everybody from our district gets together, and all the permanent members being past district deputies or anybody who's a member of the Grand Lodge in that district gets together, and we kind of talk about who we want to pick next. It then gets submitted to the Grand Lodge, and at that point, it's technically an appointment, at the Grand Lodge level, because the Grand Master can literally sit and go, yeah, no, I'm not picking him. So,
well, it's pretty much.
We take one look at
what I know, it's your representative from Grand Lodge out of your district,
right?
As long as he puts in a good word for you,
yeah,
you're pretty much in.
And this is done prior to the semi-annual that's coming up in a couple weeks?
No, it's usually
around this area time.
Usually, or when the lodges have their annuals, they want everything in place before the beginning of the year. So at April, everybody knows what they're going to be doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
He also said that Delaware has 3 districts and no DD. We only have a deputy Grand Master. Here in Connecticut, I don't even know how many district deputies we have.
We have 9.
I was going to say,
there's 9 districts. I think each district has 2.
2, right.
I think there's 1. Maybe I think District 4 has 3.
Potentially, they're kind of big.
Yeah.
So, but the deputy Grand Master is basically right below the Grand Master, so he goes all over the place, similar to the Grand Master, but he doesn't have anything to do with the inspections and all that stuff. Which, by the way, I have to give you that. By the way,
got to be good. We haven't done yours yet.
And technically, your title is District Deputy Grand Master, right? Or is that not how they do it? I know in other states, District Deputy is the District Deputy Grand Master. Is that similar in Connecticut, and we've just kind of shortened it
I'm
through
not
the
sure.
years?
I've only heard it as district deputy.
Okay.
In state of Connecticut, it's district deputy. I know in New York, I believe, I don't know. I believe in New York because I met a brother who was a district deputy in New York, and he called himself a district deputy grand master. So I think it varies.
Arizona,
The
too.
title,
Yeah.
the official title varies from state to state. Basically the same jobs.
It's pretty much the same because when you're doing your inspections, you are actually the Grand Master's representative.
Right.
Another question for you. We'll continue on with you, but you're getting like hellfire here. I love it. Are wardens, worshipful masters, and past masters permanent Grand Lodge members?
No.
I would say that depends on jurisdiction or the grand jurisdiction, but in the state of Connecticut, no.
Yeah, no. You have to be a district deputy.
Even AGMs are not considered permanent
No,
members.
no. You only have voting rights while you're a current AGM.
Right.
And once you're done being an AGM, you have no voting rights.
And what you're talking about is basically when we have our Grand Lodge sessions, past district deputies will always have a vote. So we'll always be able to vote for like a bill that passed or anything. Or even I think the election of officers, right?
Yeah.
Even election of officers.
Anything that they have to vote on, we have a
a permanent.
Yep.
But in a if you're just a master or a warden, you have the power of vote while you're a master or warden. But after that, once you're out of those chairs,
Right.
you lose it.
Right.
Yeah,
Unless you're
you get
proxy.
a proxy in. Yeah.
Proxy, meaning the master or warden cannot make it there and you're filling in for them.
I've got a question. True or false? On the night of an inspection, even if the Grand Master is there, the district deputy is considered the highest ranking official there on a night of inspection.
False.
Okay.
It was when the deputy Grand Master, I do believe the deputy Grand Master and the Grand Master are over us, but they will pretty much step aside and let us take control. Am I wrong? Am I going to get zapped?
It's in your chair. You don't have it.
It's great because I have this thing that goes. But no, in all seriousness, the Grand Master outranks the district deputy hands down every time on official inspection night. The deputy Grand Master does not.
Oh, see, I thought he had.
Yeah, and the reason why I brought up these questions because I was just fired. I was melting my computer down to zap either Marty or Mike.
What a guy. We're supposed to be friends.
No, but I was definitely doing that. But no, I looked that up myself for that exact purpose. So
I thought it was just the top two.
no, it's actually just the Grand Master. He's the only one who has power to of the night. So at an inspection night, the Grand Master has power. If he's not there, it's the district deputy show. So.
And usually, if he finds out that it is an inspection night, he'll just either leave or he'll just sit aside.
Most Grand Lodge officers, once they walk in, they're like, "Yeah, never mind, we're out." I remember I was district deputy. I wanted to be like, "Yeah, never mind, I'm out." But all right. So, one last question: what is an inspection night?
That's when we show up in purple, right? We show up to a lodge, and the lodge sets up their financials. We go over the financials to make sure they're capable of running the lodge, make sure they have enough finances to run the lodge.
We'll try some.
And then that the officers of the lodge, they're capable of performing a degree.
Right, and basically it's not a pass or fail. It's basically you read a report. It's
more of a learning thing. You help them. Like I just did harmonies and great degree. Great. It makes my job so much easier. We go in there and it's just runs so smooth. They have a very strong lodge.
That came up quick. I thought there was only a little left. That was very fast. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're just there to make sure that they're able to run a lodge, do a degree, that the officers can open and close a lodge.
Right.
I mean, pretty much when you're doing the degree, anybody can do the degree. You can bring anybody in, but we want to see the elected and appointed officers open and close.
Right. All right. Let's get back into your Masonic career. So you made it through the chairs. You went through all the chairs. You learned the ritual and everything. You become master. How was your master year?
I actually had fun.
Let's see here. Let's do a positive of your master year and a not so positive of your master year. Two things that go positive and a negative.
Positive. We didn't have any Masonic charges come against us. So that's always a good thing. No, we had we did a lot. We did a lot of dinners. Our stewards actually made money for the lodge. We had a lot of our fundraisers that we did for Purple Pumpkin for open house. We had, I think we had close to 200 people come to our open house. Our fundraiser for Safe Haven was a hit. I mean, we just had we had a very positive year. We didn't take any steps backward.
Right.
You know, we raised a couple brothers, put them through all 3 degrees. You know, I took right over from Jim O'Donnell, who pretty much took the same path as Chip Schofield.
Right.
So we stayed in line for a couple years. It was good.
Negative. One thing, and that doesn't have to be a negative, but something that you could have changed or something that you would have done differently, I guess. It doesn't have to be a negative. Not all lodges have a negative during a master
not being
year.
able to complete what you want to set forward.
That's
you
a
know,
good one.
there was a couple
That's a very
things
good
like I know a couple other people talked about it, doing work with other lodges.
Mhm.
You know, when you think you can set it in during your year as master to work with another lodge to do stuff, it's very hard because they have their own way and their own plan. You know, we have our own plan. So trying to get 2 lodges to do things together is very hard.
Right.
Unless, I mean, if you plan ahead, say you're a junior warden or senior warden, you're planning ahead for next year.
Right.
And you're working with the junior, senior warden from the other lodges. And that made it tough, not being able to get a couple of the degrees. I wanted to do a District 3 Master Mason where we could all 5 lodges in doing the degree together, but kind of like didn't work. Not enough time.
I also found that, how many years did you do as master? Just the 1 year? Just 1 year. It's a double-edged sword because, you know, every time, for me, I did 2 years back to back. The first year, literally, was in a blink of an eye. It was over with.
Yep.
Like it's like, holy shit, like it's the end of my term. And then at the time, the state of Connecticut had all these rules. You had to be able to open and close lodge. You had to be, which are still kind of pretty much the rules now. But back when I became, you know, was going through the chairs, you had to do the master's path.
Right. Yeah.
And it was literally, you had to do it. It had to be submitted. It had to be approved. You had to have a certificate. Like it was very scrupulous, the process to it. And nobody else in the lodge did it. So here I am again.
I went through that whole master's path also.
Right. It's like, well, nobody else took it. Well, who else is eligible? Well, are they going to have it done before installation night?
Yeah, and you had
probably
a
not.
And it had to be done in a certain time.
Right. So for me, I think, you know, everybody's. I think it was tossed around in the state of Connecticut about the Grand Lodge doing 2 years. Grand Master doing 2 years, and it's tossed around.
I think a master should do 2 years. You get a lot more done because, like you said, your first year, your first month, you don't remember everything.
Right.
You're catching up on what the past master did.
Right.
And you know, mostly trying to get degrees and to get the people that were waiting through. And then, I mean, the second half, forget it. You're just.
Now, see, I have a contrary to that. Because I found out midway through my second year, I burned out. I was so go. I had a smaller lodge. I'll be honest. I had a smaller lodge with not much help when I was master.
You guys were struggling back then,
right? So I imagine like a lodge like Harmony 42, or you know, some of the larger lodges, even Hiram 1 down in New Haven, where they're big lodges.
I mean, I had it nice. I mean, my year as master, we had 20 to 30 people per meeting. So it was nice. Had a lot of support from the officers,
right? You
know, which made it nice. But I mean, if you're doing 2 years and you get into your second half of your second year, that's the perfect time to get, you know, do step up nights.
Exactly.
You know, I did a couple step up nights with my guys where we all moved forward, and I went down to the junior deacons or the steward's chair and let them, you know, run the lodge to be prepared for the following year.
Right. So, master year's done. Did you take a nice Masonic vacation right off into the sunset for a little while, or did you stay active?
when I was doing my master, my master was also my first year as HEM.
That's right.
So I had double duty. So, and then in Shepherd, we do the current past master is also the next year is the chaplain.
Right. So what you do as an AGM? Again, my AGM was just my taxi driver.
Chip and I worked we worked as a team, which was nice, and which I'm working with my current AGM, Steve Chapelone now. So we do the inspections, we do them together. You know, I have my job that I have to do. I have to make sure they know all the words and grips and all that. Yeah. But going over the financials, Chip and all the paperwork, Chip and I did them together. Right. You know, we made our own remarks, right? Stuff like that. We had certain things that we looked for in the degree and stuff like that. So it was never mostly Chip doing everything and me just sitting there. Yeah,
during my year, their whole inspection form was changed, as you well know. It was completely wiped out. So the AGM really didn't have any type of say in it. It was just the deputy did his thing, and that was off it went.
The first 2 years was also a different form. The AGM had a spot for his remarks.
Does he still have a spot on the?
No.
The new forms, they wiped it away, huh? All right. So then you get appointed as a district deputy. So how is it going so far as district deputy?
You get treated a lot better.
No.
When you walk,
I have a counterpoint to that one.
well, when you walk in for the night of inspections, that's when, you know, sir, how you doing? Right, worshipful, sir, how you doing? You know, you get treated a little different, but it's nice. I mean, I know pretty much a lot of the guys from our lodges. Right. We're a lot of good lodges. We all grew up through our Masonic careers together. You know, it's fun. I'm not a ball buster. I'm not going in for this, you know.
Yes, you are. You're just a ball buster in a different way.
Yeah. You know, I'm there to help. You know, if they have a problem, I'll help them out and stuff like that. I mean, when I was doing the AGM the night of our inspections, if there was an EA degree, I would actually do the second lecture for them. Right. You know, to take part, because I mean, the degree is for the candidate. It's not for anybody else.
I know a lot of people get tight ass when a district deputy or somebody's in purple turns around. It's like, they panic out and they freak out and everything. My year, I was worried about getting shanked in the parking lot the first year. Again, we're not going to get into, but there was a little bit of a rough patch in CT Freemasonry. It happens. I'm sure it happens all over the place.
He came.
I didn't get called right worshipful.
You came for Shepherd Salem's inspection. Of course, the 2 years you did, I had to do the degree for the inspection. So the first year he comes up and we switch chairs. I walk up and I said, Harry, you want to be my prompter? They went, Craig, you can't ask him to do that.
I do remember that actually.
Tom was funny. You can't do that. You have to get somebody else. Come on.
I think did you ask me that? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Both yours.
And what did I say?
You just laughed. You went, nah, you do it.
Did I really? I didn't see it. God, it's so much of a blur. A lot of it's a blur. But there's a couple things that did stick out to me. And again, just real quick, again, my first year as district deputy was rough. The Grand Master that I represented was not very well liked.
Yeah, you had.
And I always tell this story, and I think it's great that you get, hey, Worshipful, how you doing? I walked into a lodge, and I don't want to disclose the lodge, but I walked in. I'm like, hey, how you doing, brother? He goes, how are you doing tonight, son? I had to dodge that dagger.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, yours wasn't a pleasant one.
No, but
you were always welcome in my lodge. And at Ashlar Aspetuck, you didn't have any.
It's because you guys didn't know me.
Ignorance is bliss.
I was just gonna say, I walk into your lodge and I'd be like, get out.
Yeah, walk in the door now.
No, but in all seriousness, I think I think the respect is definitely a good thing as a district deputy, but I think a lot of lodges in Masons in general, just they see purple and it's like, holy shit, we're in trouble. Yeah. Like they freak out. Like, I've seen secretaries that were just, firing through paperwork, freaking out, worried, like, don't really want to talk about a lodge, but they were like in full-on panic mode, thinking that I'm coming to bring the house down. It's like, I really don't have any power to pull charges or anything. I don't know why you're freaking out. It's literally, you can write FU on a piece of paper in crayon. I just pass it along. But
thank you.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah, now it's with this Grandmaster, he wants us to wear tuxedos, even for informal visits.
Wow.
unless we're in our own lodge.
Right.
So if I go to a lodge just for a visit, I have to be in tuxedo. So that makes it even look worse.
Wow.
So you get the masters and they're just messing up, and it's
So-
come on, it's me.
So you decided to show up on the night that we were doing Hawaiian shirt night.
Yeah, that wasn't right, man. That was not.
I was here for that. I came late, but I was here for that.
Hey,
It's
I ain't
about
the master. I'm
My
just saying it was
God.
Hawaiian shirt night. He shows up in tuxedo. I'm like,
It's about
Just show-
120 degrees up here. They're all in shorts and Hawaiian shirts, and I'm in tuxedo.
I told you, I'm there too. I wouldn't have said anything.
But I had to.
Right. It was funny. Rory James Wood, how do you become an AGM? Oh, he also says, good evening, brothers, all the way from a small town in Georgia called Cochrane. We're in a small town called Seymour. So,
Well,
You have to be
welcome.
to become a GM. You have to be asked for by the incoming district deputy.
the district deputy basically chooses him. It's like
Yeah.
his proxy, his Robin to his Batman.
Yeah, so start brown nosing the current AGM because he might be district deputy and he might ask you to be his AGM. So.
That's funny.
Well, that's what you
True.
hope. That's what you hope.
That's what you hope.
I mean, I think it should. If you're to become a district deputy, you should have to be an AGM first. It helps out.
Is the AGM in line to be the Grand Master? No. AGM is the Associate Grand Marshal, not Associate Grand Master. It's the Associate Grand Marshal, and it's
Basically, a district deputy's assistant.
District Deputy's Assistant. Yeah,
Driver.
it's and there's no guarantee that the Associate Grand Marshal is going to move to District Deputy.
No.
Again, I've never been an AGM. I wish I would have went through that path to go to AGM, then to District. I wish I would have done it, but whatever. I ended up moving right to District Deputy. It's fine. But yeah, no, there's no successive line once you get to that point. In District Deputy, once your term is up, you're out. There's no guarantee you're moving to the Grand Line either. So,
No, because the Grand Line, you have to be appointed by your district,
Mhm.
the whole district.
I think also on top of that, well, again, I'm not talking for all grand jurisdictions, but in the state of Connecticut, we rotate. We have what, 9 line officers, 8 line officers, 8 line officers.
I think there's 9. Is there?
Do they include the associate Tyler? I don't know if they do. Which would make 9 because
Yeah.
you have a Tyler and associate Tyler. If you had 9, that would represent all districts of the state of Connecticut. So if like District 1 is leaving, he'll pick his replacement for the bottom of the line, and that's pretty much
Yeah.
how it's always been. So basically, the last one that was picked was Right Worshipful Shane Dufresne,
Yeah.
and he's now the Grand Senior or Junior Steward.
Junior
Steward. So in 8 more years, when he hits Grand Master, he'll pick somebody from our district again.
Yeah.
So it's a very tedious process.
Well, that means the next person up is coming from my district. When Steve Petrie, well, my other district. Now that I'm in this one, but
right.
if Steve Petrie becomes Grand Master, then he'll pick somebody from
No, it'll be
District
somebody
1,
from the current Grandmaster.
Current
Oh,
Grandmaster,
current
Mel
Grand-
Johnson.
Ah, gotcha.
So you're
Okay.
2 years off.
I'm not getting anywhere. But being on this podcast, I've sealed my fate.
Yeah.
Off the subject question, Aaron Gilbert asks, unrelated question. I'm on episode 36 of the podcast. Have you talked about the book of Secret History of the World by Mark Booth? Is that BS or legit? I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever heard of that book. So I can't really pass any information on about it. I really don't know.
You'd have to ask Ken, right? Ken's the reader.
Ken's the reader. Yeah. I don't particularly know about it, but I now that you mentioned it, I will definitely take this into consideration and look at it, and I'll let you know. Anytime they start off with a secret history book, I'm already calling BS. That's just
Secret
me, though.
history.
Secret history. I know everything. No, you don't. You
I know
kinda
all the
suck.
secrets. So I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody. Let me write it in a book. I've always just said, like, if you knew about the Philosopher's Stone to turn base metals into gold, are you really going to write it in a book?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
He also said, off note, my petition passed, interview Monday, and hopefully a future brother soon. Absolutely.
Good. Very good.
Very nice. What state has the biggest grand staff? I look right at you. I'm like, oh God, here we go. He's just.
You saw my response, right?
I just seen it now in a Joe Norma state. Nice. All right. So, all right, let's get back into you, right, Worshipful. Most gratifying thing of being district deputy? Toughest thing about being a district deputy?
Was gratifying.
Mine was always the walk to the parking lot. No, but in serious, gratifying and toughest thing.
Wow. I don't know. Most gratifying, it probably would be the respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you do get a lot of, I mean, you meet a lot of brothers from different lodges when you're going through your journey there. But when you become a district deputy, the conversations are different.
Right.
The more people who usually don't talk to you, the older folks and stuff like that, they come up to you, they're talking to you, they're, you know, explaining their years, they're letting you know what they did. And it's just, I mean, I'm just having a good time with it.
Right.
You know, it's very gratifying. What was it? The
toughest
the
thing?
Toughest? Wow. Well, I'm a very humble guy. It's probably going through all the introductions, believe it or not. I mean, I'm not into all that. Right. It's just the way they do it when they come in, and then they'll give you grand honors. It's like, come on, you know, come on. It's
just me.
It's just me.
Yeah, I'm just average Joe.
Here, pull my finger, you know.
Yeah.
Toughest, I mean, or I guess one of the toughest things would be to probably inspect a lodge that's not ready, that's having a hard time with their degree.
Yeah.
And there's you've been there. There's some lodges where you just, it's like, wow, come on, you can get it, and then they don't.
Yeah. I had a couple. I had 2 lodges that were it was like, oh, come on, guys. Like you want them to do good.
Yeah.
You just see them falling on their face. It's painful. It's painful to watch, not because it's like, oh, it's not like a negative way. It's like, come on, like you want to buoy them up. You want to make them do good. Like, and when they're tanking it, it's like, like.
And the night is so long.
And you look at the master, and he's just either red in the face or just pouring sweat off him. It's like,
and he's doing nothing but turning and looking at you and apologizing.
Yeah.
It's like stop apologizing. Let's just do it.
All right.
So,
couple questions for you. So, what differs between an AGM and a DD? What duties? I'm confused, not drunk, just confused. Joseph Schultz.
Well, the district deputy is in charge. He's in charge. He's in charge of the inspection. He fills out all the paperwork. He signs everything. The AGM, I mean, the AGM duties are to announce any grand lodge officers that are there. But it's basically a night of inspections is to inspect the lodge building, the contents of the building and stuff like that, to assist the district deputy in going over the paperwork and to check the master, the senior warden, the junior warden, make sure they have the grip and words right.
Now, sorry, phone blowing up. Another thing I want to add is that the associate grand marshal reports to the district deputy. The district deputy reports to the grand master. So the AGM,
we report to our Grand Lodge representatives.
Really? So they changed it because
I report to Shane, and then Shane reports to the Grand Master.
Wow. Okay. Now, see, my year was completely different. We got our itinerary of, okay, District 1 and 4 are going to meet on such and such a date. District 3 and 5 are going to meet on such and such a date. And I had to drag my ass to Wallingford to sit down, and I had to have basically a report on each lodge. How's this lodge doing? How's their membership? Blah, 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 blah. Even just for my regular, friendly visit or whatever you want to call it.
See, so we don't fill out any of those. We don't have meetings like that anymore.
Oh God, lucky you. We're gonna meet at 3:30. I'm like, I don't get out till 5. You'll find a way to be here.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So that was I think if I was to pick something, travel and in the dedication, it's not something to light of heart. So if you're looking and you want to be a district deputy. Again, I'm just only speaking from the state of Connecticut. We do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, there's a lot of traveling. I mean, especially to go visit all your lodges. I mean, you had the meetings where you had to go to Wallingford and stuff. We don't have that, but to get out to our
that's cool though.
To get out to our lodges and stuff like that.
Right.
So there is a lot. You have to, it's not just your twice a month at your lodge.
Mhm.
You have to visit all the other lodges in your district, find out how they're doing, help them if they need your help. Then you're going to be traveling, you're going to be talking, you're going to be working with your district representative,
Mhm.
Grand Lodge representative there. We have a couple of things that are in the books, but we're
Right.
working on.
Greg Schultz, is the district deputy position political or does it have any pitfalls?
Political.
No.
Pitfalls?
I'll tell you right now, we've had, I know of 2 or 3 Masons who got out of the master's chair and wanted to be district deputy and actually emailed the district deputy saying that they wanted to be a district deputy, the current district deputy. And they basically got laughed at. It's not something you can be like, hey, I'm out of this chair.
Right.
I want to do this now. It's not like that.
Well,
So
it is and it isn't, but that's one way of getting your name out there where it's known that you want to be a district deputy.
Right.
Because they want to try to keep it out of it staying in the same lodges all the
Right.
time.
However, I'm kind of opposed to that because not opposed to it staying out of one lodge, but this is where the Blue Lodge councils come into big play because you get out there, you get to be part of the Blue Lodge council, you get to be, you could become president, you could become chaplain, you could be vice president, you could be, but you're getting your face out there and meeting other brothers outside your district. Mm-hmm. But if I never go to a Blue Lodge council and I'm just a member of Morningstar and I show up, I do my master's year, and then I leave the chair, no one knows who the hell I am.
Nobody knows who you are.
They just know that I'm George from Morningstar. Mm-hmm. And the district deputy is a district job, which means when you go to Blue Lodge councils, you're meeting other brothers from different lodges. I mean, how could you be a district deputy and walk into Shepherd Salem Lodge and you don't know who the hell I am?
Yeah.
Well, who the hell is this guy? Whereas if I walk into Shepherd Salem, I could be like, oh, hey, yeah, it's right, Worshipful George. Hey, it's nice to see you again.
But you have to. But when you go to these places, you also can't just sit in the corner. You
have
to
get out there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to talk to people. You have to, put things together.
And I also think it's based on merit. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you had a smash mouth master's year and you kicked ass in your master's year and you were doing this, that, and the other thing, like that resonates. But if you're just a lame duck master, why would we pick you? You're not doing anything, romantic. You're doing the basic. You basically walk through a chair because of succession. So district deputies, if you want to be a district deputy, you got to kind of be a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. Anyway, I'm very vehemently opposed to the successive line.
He was a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
No,
I'm in a better foot below.
Yeah. Right. So good.
I just mean that you should, you should do more than just the basic. Again, I've done the Blue Lodge Council president and all that stuff and everything, and you went around with Chip as an AGM, yeah. So we kind of did more than what was asked of us.
One way too is being very proficient in ritual.
Yes,
you've noticed, especially if you can do the middle chamber and you're good at it, and you travel from lodge to lodge. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Mr. Hare himself over here, he does the middle chamber. So
I do. I have several times. Happy to do it again.
I just like I said, I just did Harmony's inspection, and they had a brother from Wolcott Lodge come down and do the middle chamber. Phenomenal job. Fantastic.
Yeah. Right. All right. So what do we say? We're going to take a break?
Yeah, let's
take a break, and then we're going to start heckling some YouTubers.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to shut this down for now. For that? You can stick around for that?
I'll stick around.
All right, cool.
You got Jack.
And
yes, we do.
All right, we're going to shut this down. We'll be back.
We're still live, though, right?
We're still live. We are still live.
Am I singing?
Yeah, usually you sing.
I do sing.
How about some air supply?
Double D's means something different where we're from.
Oh, these guys are terrible.
He doesn't live on a farm, does he?
These guys are freaking terrible.
I do have air supply on my phone.
There you go. Oh, man. I thought this wall was coming down.
Where'd he go?
Probably a little boy's room.
Let's see what people still watching on our
Yeah, I
live
told
page.
Ken was telling me when I was there that he found out you did the middle chamber. I thought that would have been cool. I said, me coming to inspect you and he's doing the middle chamber.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where I did it twice. I did 3 times. Because it's one of those things where once I got it, I was a little afraid of it at first.
Yeah.
And then once I got it and I did it that first time and got all the nerves out and did it, it's like, okay, now I want to do it again and do it better.
Yeah.
And then you do it again and you're like, I still think I got something left.
Yeah.
Let me do it again.
I watched John Novak from Woodbury, and I've watched him do it probably about 6 or 7 times, and it just gets better. It just gets better. It's like unbelievable.
But it's one of those things where you have to keep up. Like it's still in there. I'd probably need a week to get it back a little bit.
I told Jack to ask you because we got our inspections next week on the 8th, and they're doing it on Fellowcraft. He said Ed's going to do it.
Okay. Fellowcraft is
God.
What? Are we getting land-based?
Greg.
He's so big. I love him like a brother, but he's so rich. Give a recap. Oh my god.
Hashtag recap.
Oh my god. Did you guys read it yet?
No, I got out of it. I'm trying to get back into the page.
Recap for anyone joining. Doubles, hot spots, Filipinas. Great interview with the DD. George is out of the loop.
Very nice. I'm surprised Tarwood hasn't popped on yet.
We just got a stated tonight, right?
Yeah. Usually, remember last time he said, coming, saying hi from the stated communication at Harmony 42?
Ken's a good guy.
Yes.
So it sounds like I should probably start learning the middle chamber again. Brushing up on it.
Damn, how did I meet you? You were master when I was a junior deacon, I think. Somebody asked when I met you guys.
2011, 2012, I was master. That's when I did my term.
Yeah, that's when I was a junior deacon.
My first year, they loved me. Not loved me, but I was the young blood. The second year, they just wanted blood.
I thought it was funny when we came. I don't know why I did the back button like that. When we came down for a visit, Chip and I came down for a visit, and you were doing something. I was junior warden. Tom was the master of the lodge here.
Yeah.
And Chip looks at me, and your junior warden wasn't here, so I filled in there. Chip sat next to me, and he goes, what would Tom do if George wasn't sitting next to him? It was basically he repeated everything you said.
Yeah. Well, Tom actually had a problem with, and not everyone's a ritual guru. Not everyone's a good ritual guru, and it's me. I'm pretty much photographic. I can just do the ritual, not a problem. The only thing I cannot do is the freaking middle chamber. So Joe beats my ass in that all day long because I could never. I tried so hard to learn the middle chamber, and I just couldn't do it.
My next one I want to learn is Ed Ross's apron presentation. He does a good apron presentation.
Fred Candy in our lodge used to do a great one.
Yes.
And Bob First is taking it over, and he does a really good job with it.
Yeah.
But just the way that Fred spoke about it and the way he delivered it, like you almost wanted to cry.
Yeah.
And it was
I tell you,
with
you know
such
who did
sincerity.
That's
a
what
pretty
we're talking
good
about.
one.
Wresting the Bible from the
That's Corsellini with the Bible
Corsellini.
lecture.
That's one thing. I seen him.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
You know who surprised me was Mike Mesner. It was that night that he did it. The only thing it was long. It's like, dude, you need to tone that down by about 5,000 words.
I think because I gave him the South Carolina monitor.
Okay.
I had a little book from Dave Storm, Worshipful brother Dave Storm, who gave us a book, and it was South Carolina's actual apron lecture.
Mm-hmm.
So he did the apron lecture from South Carolina. What are they writing?
No,
They're writing something.
Susan Kappas asked the question. We were actually talking to somebody, a about it earlier today. She's like, but Joe, can you do the middle chamber in a British accent? And once upon a time, I knew it so well, front and back, that I would do it in not in an actual ritual because I didn't want to
add words like schedule in there.
No, you just do it. I did it in like Cockney accent. It was like I could get it. I'm trying to. I can't really do it right.
Do it Scottish.
Well, sometimes it blended into a little Sean Connery, a little bit in there, and sometimes a little Irish would get in there. We're not. But no, it was fun. Charlie Everlist, the chef at our lodge, and a past master. I was like, that'd be really cool if you did it in a British accent.
Who did real good was Prince Hall.
Oh yeah,
Prince Hall one.
No, I've not. I've not seen
amazing. We had two guys come to our lodge, and one stepped out and one stepped in.
You want to try this poison?
No.
One stepped out, one stepped in, like it was a period. At the end of a sentence, and the guy started the next one. Whatever, missing a beat was amazing.
All right, let's fire it back up, fellas.
There are two types of masonry: operative and speculative.
That's the worst accent I've ever heard in my life.
Shut that up.
Joseph Schultz, the middle chamber sounds like a stair lecture.
Yeah, there's stairs.
Well, there are stairs.
There are stairs in there.
Yeah,
There absolutely is.
There absolutely are.
Maybe it's called different in different states. I don't know. But all right, we're going to turn this back on. Ready? And we're live. We're back.
Hello,
And
Facebook.
we haven't put in a commercial. I'll come up with something. It's probably going to be a shot at Georgie. I'm reading a text.
You're going to take a shot at your kid, really? Really?
It's going to be a shot at...
Not that he doesn't deserve it, but...
It's going to be a shot at Joe, but I'll figure it out. Ken's overdue, though, so I'll find something.
You're welcome, Gray Schultz.
All right. So, second half of this, we've already picked our district deputy's brain about his Masonic stuff. This one, we're going to take a shot at YouTube videos, and I'm hoping that this plays. So, this is a video, and again, I'm not going to cite the YouTube video, but we're going to pause it, and we're going to pick apart what they say. And this one is called Freemasonry, an Enemy of the Church. So we're going to start with that right off the bat.
Well, as an ordained minister and retired monk, I feel like I should take this one.
All right, ready? So we're going to start it off. It's an 8-minute video, and we're going to pick it apart. So and we're going to talk about the truths and fakes.
You're going to stop it along the way.
I'm going to stop it along the way. So here we go. Let's try it. Nice music.
Welcome to Your Questions Answered. Father Gruner, I'm John Veneri, and this program, we take your questions that you send us via email. Father Gruner answers them. We talk about them. It's on every day. A new show posted every day at fatima.org. So please contact us at I'm saying it wrong. Please contact us at questions@thefatimacenter.com.
I just want to start with saying he's probably a very nice guy.
We've been talking about Freemasonry because someone asked, may a Catholic be a Freemason? And the next question that they asked was, can a Freemason be part of the clergy? And I think we have that answer already, but
it's fine on our end.
On this a little bit.
Well, I think people have to understand, I mean, it's Masonry, of course, is portrayal. It's like it's a benign group of men who get together, and some of them do this just for their business contacts or whatever.
Sounds like George Plimpton.
Yes, because they do promise you worldly success. I mean, they do promise you opportunities if you join.
Time out right there. Cut it right there, because I've been a member for 10 years now, and I have no riches. I have no... Like, where is the... How long do I have to wait for this? Because I don't...
Right.
What the hell is that?
Do they email the invitation to the riches?
You know what they need.
So,
well, mine's not working.
yeah.
My bad.
Freemasonry does not promise riches, not whatsoever. I'm driving a 2003 Jeep Liberty with rust shots on the side. So,
I drive a freaking Hyundai. Drive a Hyundai.
they do not promise riches. We don't promise anything of that nature. It's
I can't even afford full pants.
Jesus. That's right. That was like 4 episodes ago.
Y'all need Jesus.
Freemasonry doesn't promise any type of riches, nor any type of you're gonna get a job or you're gonna make money, or we don't do that.
That's stated right in your
Right.
your interview.
Yeah, right in your interview.
Not
You're not
insurance,
doing
there's
this.
no benefits.
Right. So that's wrong. Let's continue on.
He still is a lawyer, of course, but he was a member of, he was a Catholic. His priest told him there's no harm in him being, or he could become a Catholic, or he could become a Mason, still be a Catholic. Of course, totally wrong answer, completely wrong answer. And John, by the grace of God, figured it out when he was in Masonry. He went up to the 32nd degree, if I'm not mistaken. He describes his ceremonies, how they are anti-Catholic, anti-Catholic, anti-Christian, anti-God, and I urge them to.
Is that
Wrong.
Is that Paul McCartney?
Wrong.
Sounds like Paul McCartney.
All right. So let's break down the 32nd degree. 32nd degree actually falls right in line with the 31st degree. They're taking simultaneously at the same time. And it talks about in the degree how you're Scottish. You're Scottish, right, Mason?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, you as well.
I am a 32nd.
And it talks about the story of a guy named Constance, who basically was at, for lack of better words, the Holy Sepulchre. And he was to stay at the altar and protect the Holy Sepulchre. Am I correct in this? No matter what. And he's tempted by three people. One guy shows up with what? Wine or something. Hey, let's go booze it up and have some fun. Second guy was, I think, God, it's been so long since I've seen it. It's been a while. Because it's not the one with the devil, right? Where he shows up and he's tempting him to leave.
That's, I believe the third one is
right.
The devil, yeah.
So there's these three people who are tempting him to leave his Christian post. And again, the Constance is standing in front of an altar with a big ass cross in front of him. And he ends up leaving to defend the city and save the people. But it's Christian. So it's not anti-God, anti-Masonry. Nowhere in there is there any type of anti-God, anti-Masonry. Absolutely 1,000% wrong. As a matter of fact, if you take the York Rite, the Knights Templar, the whole damn degree is about Christianity and Jesus and the story of Jesus. You take libations to different people, the three Grand Masters and other things along the way. One of which is I don't want to get too much into detail, but one of the libations that you take is in honor of who's the guy who carried his cross? Can't remember his name. Simon of Cyrene, that's his name. You take a libation to him because he was compelled to bear the Savior's cross. So how are you going to tell me that it's anti-Christian, anti-religion, bullshit? Call him bullshit on it. That's completely inaccurate. 100% inaccurate. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there's so many myths and mistruths about Freemasonry that, and this is coming straight out of a Catholic priest's mouth. He's basically talking about this. Nowhere ever. What the hell is that?
That's a church lady?
Church lady from Saturday Night Live.
Oh. But there's nowhere, shape, and form any talk about that. I also want to add that the reason why I'm doing this and the reason why we're talking about this is because Freemasonry has never told anybody once ever, don't join that religion because they're anti-Masonry. But yet, killing me, Smalls. Freemasonry doesn't tell you what religion you should belong to or what you should not believe in. It's up to you. And that's why, Freemasonry, they say, oh, well, they're talking about the grand architect of the universe. One of the arguments that they make is that, Christians say, only through Jesus can you find salvation or your way into heaven. That's the only way you can find through God. Okay, that's your own personal belief. Freemasonry doesn't talk about any of that. They're basically saying as long as you believe in God, no matter who that God is, you're a good person. We judge you by your actions, not your words. In addition to that, I just also want to just say that, how do I put this? I'm trying to think of the best way to put this without pissing off people, but it's very dogmatic.
Now he worries about that.
I'm treading a line here. It's very dogmatic to say that you are not getting into heaven because of what you believe in rather than your works as a person. Get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a fine line. You know, and they tell you, oh, well, you're a heathen, you're not getting into heaven because you're a Freemason. So do you judge a person by what they believe, or do you judge a person by how they act? It's a fine line. Let's continue.
Play on.
Play on.
Play on, player.
As soon as this loads.
Those talks about Masonry, because he speaks from the inside, not just me
Yes.
speak from the outside. But going on, so a Catholic cannot be a Mason and still be a Catholic, number one. So obviously a Catholic priest, a bishop, a cardinal, a pope, I don't know, any level of priesthood, any level of, cannot be a Mason and be a Catholic.
I have so many comments I want to make, but I'm being good right now.
Fire away.
Nah, it's totally inappropriate. Like way inappropriate. But understand, a Freemason can't be a priest. However, there are certain individuals that lead a lifestyle that are allowed to be priests. But we won't get into the whole class action lawsuit called Bridgeport Diocese and all that fun stuff.
All right. This is another one. And this is basically, it's titled, Has Freemasonry Infiltrated the Catholic Church? Ready for this? Here we go.
Sounds like Maury Povich.
Can I have a little bit of that?
Anonymous caller in Australia for Tim Staples. What's your question?
Yeah, hi, how you guys
Hi,
doing?
Tim.
Doing well. Very, very well. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, has Freemasons infiltrated the Catholic Church?
So
Because
yes,
according to
has
what I hear
Freemasons
from some
infiltrated the Catholic Church?
Catholics, they claim that the Masons have infiltrated the Catholic Church since Vatican II came in.
Yeah, well, my friend Anonymous,
My accent's better than that guy's
if
accent.
you want to know if there are any Masons that have been Catholic, absolutely. There are, and that's a problem, of course, because Masonry, as you know, teaches things that are absolutely contrary to the Catholic faith. I mean, they deny virtually every aspect of our faith, other than they do believe in one God. They are
Wrong. That's completely wrong. Completely wrong. We do not. We're not against any. We're not against Catholic Church.
As long as you're not an atheist.
As long as you're not an atheist, you have to believe in a supreme being.
Good. You're good.
But we've never actually came out in any of our degrees and ever said you cannot be a Catholic or a Protestant or a Muslim or a Methodist or any other type of evangelican. We've never said that. Never, ever, 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 ever. So that's completely 1,000% a falsehood.
I do believe we have a guy going through our lodge who took his entered apprentice oath on the Quran.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. Diana McManus, at the auto show, a man came to our booth and was spewing inaccuracies about Freemasons. John schooled him quick. Really? So you mean to tell me a guy showed up at a Masonic car show for kids at a high school, which, by the way, we raised about $2,000 for, is spewing shit about the Freemasons? Now, that's funny. Again, I've never showed up at a church as a Freemason saying, yeah, you're all wrong. Like, they do that shit to us, though. Well, I don't get it.
They got nothing better to do.
All right. You ready? Here we go.
deists. They deny the Trinity, the divinity of Christ, sacraments, whole sacramental system, you know, the whole redemption of our Lord and Savior. I mean, they reject everything. And so, in fact, it used to be excommunicable to be a Mason in the Catholic Church. That excommunication was lifted, but as Cardinal Ratzinger made clear back in 1983, when Pope St. John Paul lifted the excommunication, Cardinal Ratzinger, by permission of the Pope, made clear that the theological condemnations remain. And so Catholics ought not to be Masons. Now, having said that, Anonymous, what you have among traditionalists are tremendous exaggerations about the infiltration of Masons, you know, claiming that John the 23rd was a Mason, Paul the 6th was a Mason, everybody was a Mason that didn't agree with the traditional Catholics, and there's absolutely no evidence of that. I mean,
well, doesn't that suck? You mean to tell me that someone was spewing fake shit about the Catholic Church? No. How does it feel? How does it feel? Does it burn a little bit because that's the same shit they're doing to us. Like, they don't like, oh, well, no, the Catholic Church, it's absolutely untrue that the Freemasons, first off, Freemasonry doesn't infiltrate anything, including the fact that we don't even recruit. So how the hell are we infiltrating it?
They have to come to us.
They have to come to us. On top of that, there's many Grand Lodges that do not speak. There's Grand Lodges that do not recognize one another.
Right.
Even in the state of, in the country, here. In the United States, there's Grand Lodges that do not speak for fundamental differences of opinion on certain things. One being Prince Hall Masonry. It's a hot source of contention because we, state of Connecticut, can claim ownership that we were the first Grand Lodge to recognize Prince Hall Freemasonry, which is Black Freemasonry, right? There are Grand Lodges that still do not recognize it.
Right, a lot down south.
Lodges
down south.
And there is zero communication between our Grand Lodges. We don't recognize one another based on the simple fact of human decency that they should be recognized. And that's my opinion on that. So for us to, as Grand Lodges, to all get together and be like, all right, guys, roll up our sleeves. How are we getting into here? How are we getting into the Vatican? How are we going to infiltrate them?
We can't plan a pancake breakfast without like infighting.
Just going to say that.
Do we want to have turkey sausage or pork sausage?
This lodge
I
got
want
into
Mrs. Butterworth, and I like Aunt Jemima. Like, come on.
Me and another couple of brothers got into a kind of a, I don't want to say a pissing match, but we had a disagreement on our Blue Lodge Council dinner. I wanted to do downstairs at Jimmy's because I thought it was nice and everything, and they wanted to do pizza. So we can't even agree on dinners, let alone try to infiltrate the Vatican or the Catholic Church. So get out of here.
You get someone that takes 5 meetings just to get rid of the old ashtrays.
True story.
Yes.
And, you know, you have the Grand Lodge, the United Grand Lodge of England. Big Grand Lodge. They oversee all of Europe and everything. Our Grand Lodges have zero relationship with that. And that's been ever since freaking Revolutionary War. We've got our own separate Grand Lodges. We don't even talk to the United Grand Lodge of England. So that shows you that Masonry is not divided. We still see each other as brothers, but we're not united either. We have fundamental differences amongst each other and ourselves. So how the hell are we going to infiltrate the Grand Lodge? Or, excuse me, in the Catholic Church? And we don't care about that. Like, they do their thing, we do ours. It just seems that they pick at us because we oppose them. We don't really oppose them. It's just a difference of opinion, but they take shots at us. We don't take them back. The Masons take the high road. Why are we going to fight with you? That was the point.
That's one way to get their names to the paper.
I had a couple others, and I'm looking for them right now as I go. But we'll. You guys want to add anything else, or anybody on Facebook wants to add anything to this? I'm looking for my other video. I can't seem to find it. Aha! Here we go. Love this guy. This is one that I found.
Whoa! Nice.
This one is called, Is Freemasonry a Cult? Uh-oh. What did I touch?
Freemasonry is the best kept
My hot
secret
spot.
in the Christian town. Even Freemasons themselves, the large majority, are ignorant of Freemasonic teachings. So when you're approaching a Mason, when you're approaching the issue of Freemasonry, you're going to be dealing with the problem of ignorance. However, once
You're
educated,
ignorant.
the Freemason is faced
Ignorance
with Christ.
I've been
or the
called
law.
worse on this podcast.
So he
10
says,
minutes ago.
when you're a Freemason, you're faced between Christ or the Lodge.
No.
Wrong.
I know very devout Catholics that are members of my lodge that have no issue reconciling the two. There's no. You have to make a choice. There's no.
Right.
It's not like our lodge meetings are Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Two things we do not bring up in Lodge. Politics, religion. Two fundamental things that will get your ass tossed straight down those stairs. Don't bring them up because politics and religion are a major source of contention. We are not a religion whatsoever at all. We don't, we base many of our, this headphone jack is
Jacked up.
jacked up. we're not a religion. We don't claim to be a religion. We're not telling you to follow our beliefs, and if you don't, you're a heathen. That's for religion to do. We just basically tell you how to be a good person and a better person. So your religion and your belief system, that's all you. That's got nothing to do with Freemasonry. We just show you how to be a better man.
We do, however, base a lot of our teachings and rituals on the moral teachings
right.
of different religions.
But most
come from the Bible.
Boom.
You know, but some of those concepts are universal throughout Judaism and Buddhism or whatever other religion you may follow. But there's certain moral teachings that we take from the Bible.
Right.
We all know, we've all been in open lodge, and I don't think I'm giving anything away, that we read a section from the Bible in every meeting.
Mm-hmm. We open
every degree. We open and close on prayer.
Yeah.
So,
right.
It's just silliness.
Yeah.
I can make a lot of comments, but
yeah.
I'm really
very hard to talk about religion without arguing.
It is, and that's why I'm just.
And that's why we don't talk about it.
Subduing
We don't even bring it up in a lodge.
But it's very hypocritical. The things that they say about Freemasonry aren't exactly turning the other cheek or be kind to your neighbor. So they're kind of going against what their own teachings are when they attack Freemasonry, when they don't want us to be involved and they say these things about us. They're going against their own teachings.
Right.
So take that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to do it.
Uh-oh. You're going, Carly?
No.
Oh, okay.
Worse. But I'm going to leave it alone.
Oh, boy. I know
and that went back to Solomon's Temple. Just to boil this down simply, when
Uncle Alex.
Okay. We're going to start it from the top.
Hello, Uncle Alex.
Good song, at least.
And the judge said, son, just one more. One more shot. One more vaccine. And then your child's going to have that convulsion. And that's when they do the devil dance.
How is he talking about?
There goes your mind. There goes your brain cells. Yeah. Another vegetable. Count up another score on the scoreboard for the new world order.
Yeah, brother.
Who do you love? The new world order. All right, briefly, and then I'll go to phone calls. On the whole Mason thing.
Hey, yo.
And I've always explained this. It does a massive disservice to just get up on air and say the Masons are the Illuminati and they're devil worshippers and they're going to kill you and they're the ones doing everything. Because about half our founding fathers were Scottish Freemasons. Blue line.
Scottish Freemasons. None of them were. Scottish Freemasonry. None of them were.
That was post-Civil War.
That was post-Civil War.
Right.
No. Albert Pike.
Right. Wasn't he a Civil War general?
It came before then, but our founding fathers themselves were not Scottish Freemasons. In Scottish Blue Lodge, he said that they're Scottish Blue Lodge Freemasons. Wrong. They are two totally separate things. Right. Blue Lodge has nothing to do with Scottish Rite, but Scottish Rite is an appending body, none of which were the founding fathers. Not one. So that's wrong.
Lodge people. And that went back to Solomon's Temple. Okay. Just to boil this down simply, when knowledge was power, just like knowledge is power today, the formula to create diesel, the formula to crack
I'm on board with them right now.
The formula, to make Coca-Cola taste so good. Well, it's cocaine.
That's true.
It's the same thing. How to build?
No, it used to be. That's how Coke. That's how Coca-Cola got started. It was they had cocaine mixed into it. But then again, other opiates were freely here. Take this.
And doctors used to prescribe cigarettes to calm you down.
Right.
Build buildings, geometry.
We'll do this one.
How
we'll
to construct things. How to create a royal arch. that was
Royalers.
the most prestigious thing. Rock stars in every culture, going back more than 5,000 years, have been the people who were the master builders of the pharaohs and the Babylonians and the
Cheops and all
Chinese, the
those.
Qin, and countless others. That was the real sign.
Like, I'm on board with them right now.
You didn't just give that science up to anybody. So they had mystery schools that were private colleges put out by the priest class, generally affiliated with the royal dynasty, who also taught agriculture and propaganda and manipulation, and they taught people how to make the public superstitious and tell them the sun wouldn't come back if they didn't give them more power. And
These are
then
all true.
the priest would say, if the Buga god is mad at you, the sun isn't going to come back, because they'd been marking down when the eclipse would come.
True.
So there's a lot of superstition, a lot of occultic. Occultic just means hidden. And that's where all of this comes out of. And that's where the Illuminati comes out of, too. But that's just history. And so George Washington was a Mason, but he was a great man. A lot of my ancestors have been Masons. You judge a tree by its fruits. Now, that said, one of my great uncles.
Let me just start by saying, I pause it real quick. It's never the person telling the story. You ever notice that about all these conspiracies? It's never.
It's an uncle.
It's my great uncle's brother's cousin's father's sister told me that this and this and that happened. Just want to point that out with zero evidence or proof that the relative was even.
The one who's explaining it to you, he's perfect. Does no wrong.
Right. It's insane.
Told my dad when he was a kid, don't join the Masons. And he was a high-level Mason, as high as you could get.
They're always as high as you can get, right?
Because so much organized crime uses the Masonic secret system and the good old boy network to
Organized
be able
crime.
to get away with murder.
Good old
And
boy.
I mean murder. And I won't get off into all of it. But Texas was founded by Masons. Most of my ancestors were Masons, and these were good people, one of my ancestors, they wanted to be the treasurer of Texas, and he wouldn't do it because he saw it as potentially immoral. David Ayers. But the point is that Masonry itself, and George Washington wrote letters at the time about this, and they're on the Library of Congress website. Type in George Washington letters on Illuminati. There's a bunch of them. How they, through France and the Jacobins, were taking over Masonry and were Illuminati, and that they wanted to create hell on earth. And that's what they want. They want hell on earth, burning cities, raping everybody, just death to
Now he's going off the rails.
And that's when the drugs popped in.
And that's when
it went sideways.
made left turn in Albuquerque.
Oh my God. So, I'm bringing all this up because, I've said it before that a lot of what happens in all these stories is clickbait. It's everyone trying to get to that. And I've looked into it because, again, I'm on YouTube as well. It's 4,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 hours of play. And people just feed off of bullshit. They really will just soak it up and they take it for truth. It's terrible. And, when you have somebody like that, that's just spewing bull, it hurts the fraternity. And that's why I like going after these BS videos. To sit there and say to me that like I'm a bad person because I'm a Freemason or or even any of you guys, both of you would break your back for somebody else if they needed help. You're always talking about going over your buddy's house and doing things and helping them out. Is it to get another member of our lodge? No. Or of our craft? No. You do it because that's what we do. We raised money for the high school last weekend. Did we do it to get high schoolers to join us? No. We didn't even bring petitions. We did it because we wanted to. It's just a shame that, in this whole wrapped up thing about religion where it's you're not getting into heaven if you're a Freemason. Well,
It's a chance we got to take.
At least I'll be with all my.
not getting into heaven as a Freemason yet. Do you know that the Catholic Church itself has killed more people in history than any other organization on the entire planet? You had the Inquisitions in the Middle Ages, and
Well, plus look at all the scandals that they've had.
And the scandals.
Especially
And
here in
so-
the Northeast.
And that's only the ones that you've heard of.
You
Right.
And
only ones
so
you've
you
heard
can't
of.
sit here and
Oh,
say that I'm dirty when you
put that
got
all
dirt
over
on
it.
your hands. You know, so I truly think that both Freemasonry and any religion can learn a lot from one another. We have our lessons, they have theirs. There's nothing wrong with coinciding the two of them. So I don't know. Anybody got any thoughts on this? If you're live watching, Joseph Schultz said, being Catholic and a Freemason, it's hard to hear that.
I'm pretty sure the Schultz brothers are not going to heaven. I'm pretty sure. They've got at least 15 in purgatory before they figure out where they're going. Love you, brothers. But I just got to.
You got to go to timeout first.
Yeah, you're gonna spend some time in purgatory.
Yeah,
I'll see you there.
I have a feeling that there's going to be some sort of a video with, or not video, excuse me, an artiste, our podcast artiste. Oh, we have to get you one, by the way. They think they might be up there. It's the Puppet George bumper stickers.
Oh yeah, all of our guests. We have got some great parting gifts for you.
Yes, but I feel like there's going to be a video of a bus with a bunch of people on it.
Going to a meeting in purgatory.
With Greg Schultz driving the bus.
He actually signed off. He said he had to go. I think he said, I'll catch the rest of this later. Worshipful brother Joe Zanito, thank you for saving the night with your hotspot. Maybe the lodge can upgrade from dial-up to high-speed files. We actually don't have any internet up here because
I didn't save it.
I paid for it.
Cinnamon Clandestiny saved it.
Dial
Oh,
up to DSL.
we're starting this shit again, the cinnamon clandestiny stuff. He said he's a stripper.
That's my professional name. Cinnamon Clandestiny. Now taking this.
All right. What's our run time? What do you say we shut this down?
All right.
All right. Maybe we'll do an interview afterward.
Before it gets a little crazy.
Maybe we'll do an interview. You think you pull off an interview, or is you don't got anything prepared?
I don't have any material.
All right.
And he's now my district deputy. So I'm not screwing around with that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joe's now a member of Morning
When
Stars.
he was yours, all right. Now that he's mine.
All right, everyone. We're going to shut this down. We're going to be next episode. I think we're going to have Worship Brother Ken here on Sunday. You going to be able to make it? Come play with us?
Probably not. Maybe.
Okay.
Probably not, though.
All right. No worries. We're going to be covering the P2 Lodge.
Is Dan going to be here for that? Like Dan, I feel like Dan should be here for that.
You know what the P2 Lodge is?
No.
It's the lodge in Italy that they found the dude hanging underneath the bridge. Said he was going to give the secrets of Freemasonry. Found bricks in his pocket hanging from the bridge. It's in Italy. So that's so
Dan, I feel like Dan has to be here for this.
Mi scusi. Mi scusi. You seen that movie? Tell me you've seen it. Euro Trip?
Yes, I have. It's been a long time, but
Have you seen it, Mike?
No.
Oh, watch it. It'll all make sense.
Where's Dan? We haven't seen Dan in a little while.
Oh, I don't even know.
Dan, please come back, Dan.
He's in his basement right now. Just
baby, come back.
Practicing getting electrocuted.
He's
building up a tolerance to the shock collar so he can come in and win the
All right. We had a grandmother who had the one-piece jammy thing, which is you know what I'm talking about with all the flowers on it, right? The frizz around the neck. It was like
I have one of those.
You do? I believe it.
Never seen it.
You never had a grandmother?
No.
Which Adams?
No.
Scottish, English? What is it?
English, Irish, and Welsh, I do believe.
Oh, so you didn't have any Italian in your
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I had a grandmother with the one-piece jammy thing that came down to here out of the French. You know what I'm talking
I know
about,
exactly
right?
what you're talking about.
We were allowed to sit
usually
on
like
all
little
our furniture.
roses.
Oh yeah, no, you could sit in furniture. No.
Well, if it had plastic.
If it had plastic, we're good. But yeah, I could just see Dan in the basement wearing that. Just
God.
Wait. Just one arm in a pot of spaghetti, stirring the sauce.
Curlers in his hair.
Come here, you try my meatballs.
You hungry? Sit down. I make you some
food. He's gonna be so pissed when he hears this.
You know what? Then he should show up.
He should show
You
up.
should show
You
up.
gotta show up to defend yourself.
his lady was ragging on him pretty hard that one podcast.
Oh yeah, I think that's the last time he came.
Couldn't grow facial hair. That's why he didn't come back anymore. She was fucking, she was tagging him. It was funny. All right, brothers, let's shut it down. Right, Worshipful Mike. Thank you very much for coming up here and hanging out with us hooligans. I'd like you to come up here again. Come up here.
I'll definitely be back.
Yeah, because we it gets unruly sometimes. We're really very well behaved. I think it's because
Most of the time
we're very behaved.
Oh, you were very polite for Marty.
Yes,
Yes, we were very polite.
you got to know your audience.
Just Mike. It's just
You
Mike.
got to know your audience.
Yeah, on top of that, you're also now a member of the third district. So
Right. So now
you're behaving. You're behaving.
I will respect his authority.
Respect my authority.
All right. So for the Freemasons podcast, I am Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry signing off.
Worshipful Brother Joe signing off.
Right, Worshipful Brother Mike signing off.
Have a good night, everyone. All right, we're still live. I'm shutting the feed momentarily.
Charges in both districts.
Goodbye,
What's that?
Can we brought up on charges in both districts simultaneously, or just one at a time?
Why not?